Hey guys and girls, this is Blaze, bringing you my first tutorial today, hopefully with many to come. I'm going to be showing you how to get some pretty nice render settings in Sony Vegas and a really nice compression technique after, or program I should say, that'll get you some nice quality on YouTube with a really low file size. Anyway, let's get started. I'm just going to open up Vegas. Actually, I should probably turn off my music. There we go. Alright. So first of all, let's get a clip in here. Get one from Guardian's G-Spot. That'll do. Drag it in. And I'm just going to cut the clip where he's not doing anything. Probably about here. And about there. Alright, so there's some basic things you need to do before you get started rendering. The first one is we're going to go into properties of the clip and hit disable resample. That's really important to keep some nice quality going because YouTube doesn't like it when smart resample is on. It just makes the quality a little bit worse. I'm not going to go into more detail about that, but that's important, so just do it. Now I'm going to go into video effects and just put on a shitty color correction just to make things look a little bit nicer. Obviously color correctors are best in After Effects, not Sony Vegas. They're shit in this one. I'm going to go to event pan / crop and I'm going to make it I'm going to get rid of these black lines up here and on the side. That is, it comes with pretty much most HD PVR recordings. I'm not sure about other capture cards, but Guardian uses a PVR anyway. So I'm going to make sure that size about center is hit over here and the normal edit tool. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to drag this until you see on the screen over here you're getting a nice little widescreen going. Just drag that until you think it's fine. Some people like widescreen like that. Some people like no widescreen at all, but personally I like it about there. It doesn't get rid of any of the things that's happening on screen, such as the kills down here or the radar up here or anything like that. Now we still have this black bar on the side over here that we have to get rid of, so this time I'm going to put on lock aspect ratio so it doesn't change anything for the main aspect ratio, I should say. It's pretty self-explanatory. Going to get over here and I'm going to zoom in right next to this line so I can see. As you can see, it's pretty defined there. I'm going to grab this and I'm just going to drag it in just to completely cut out that line. And you'll see over here on your display you don't have a black line there anymore, so we're in business. Obviously you can just put in the title up here, sample preset, or I don't know, widescreen, whatever you want, and then just hit the save button right here and you'll have that preset for good. I already got one, so I'm just going to use that. I've tampered with it to my liking. Now that's pretty much it for this of what I'm going to show you. Just a shitty quad clip from Guardian. Well, actually it's pretty good, but it might not look so good in this screen because of the I am recording. I'm not going to add any sharpen to it right now. People obviously can toy around with the sharpening of clips to their liking, whatever they like. Personally, I don't really use it. I use it sometimes, but not all the time. It's really personal preference. Anyway, I'm going to highlight this whole clip here, and I'm going to go File, Render As. Now, we're going to make sure the Save As type is Video for Windows AVI. The AVI is the file format that you want. We're going to make sure that down here, Render Loop Region is ticked and Save Project Markers in Media File. The other ones, you don't want any of them, unless of course you are going to render with network computers, which will make it faster, but I don't do any of that. We're going to go to Custom over here, and we are going, actually it's better put it default. For the frame size, obviously you want to include video. For the frame size, you can either use the project settings or custom frame size, which you can put it in as it is. But I'm just going to use the project settings because I already have it set to 1280 by 720. Frame rate, the standard YouTube frame rate is 29.97 NTSC. Some capture cards capture in 60 frames per second or 59.94. I think the Blackmagic does that. I'm just going to leave it at 29.97 for now. Going to make sure that the field order is none. It's a progressive scan. Going to have the pixel aspect ratio to 1. Video format, we want uncompressed. Now that's one of the most important things so that when we do compress it later, it will work. Interleave every 0 seconds. It doesn't really matter. I've never really toyed around with that. I just leave it to 0 and it works perfectly fine. We're going to hit render alpha channel and create an open DML compatible file. I'm going to go over to audio now and we're going to leave it as PCM uncompressed. Sample rate 44,100. You want to leave it as that because the compression doesn't work with any of the other ones that I know of. Bit depth we're going to leave at 16 and channel we're going to have stereo. Now if we go over to project, video rendering quality and make it best. Now as I said before, with your templates and settings you usually want to make one. So I already have one, just call it h.264 or something along those lines that you're going to remember. So anyway, I'm just going to leave it as my preset h.264 and I'm going to name it, well I've already rendered it, so you guys just name it and render it what you want. I just call it h.264 tutorial example, but obviously name it after your projects or whatever. Now, after that renders, what we're going to do is we're going to get this. There's a program called Easy h.264, which I'll put a download link in the description for so you guys can get it. Basically how this works is you select a video file for it to compress and what you want to call it out. The frame rate, obviously, we're going to leave it at 29.97 because that's what our video frame rate is. And anyway, I'll go into the last one in a second. So we're going to select our video file that we were using. I've already put it in, for example, h.264 tutorial example. I'll just use that again, put that in. For the output file, we're going to just name it whatever we want. Doesn't really matter. I'll actually re-render it again so I can show you guys what happens. Let's call it h.264 tutorial example 2 and save it as h.264 mpeg container.mp4 in brackets. And we're going to hit save on that. Now as I said, you want to leave it as 29.97 unless you were using 59.94, but I recommend using 29.97 because it's the YouTube standard. Going to come down to preset. Now there's a fairly big range to choose from in terms of compression. The ones up the top, they're the higher file size but the better quality, and obviously the lower ones down here are the lower file size but they're a little bit worse in terms of quality. I use Extreme Plus HD 720p generally because that's what I found to work best. Some people just use Extreme HD 720p to get the lower file size, but I think this one's the best. You can opt to go for this one up here, but it is a much bigger file size, so generally I just stick to this one. Once you put all that in, just hit start encoding, and it will come up just saying this may take some time, be patient. If you get to this step, you've done everything right. So all we're going to do is just hit OK, and we're going to have this come up. And this is it encoding our video. Anyway, you'll see it, there's a wall of text, it'll keep coming through. You'll see down here, that's how far it's rendered into our video in the time, the bitrate it's rendering at, and this is your file size here of what it's making. And I'll show you how much of a difference it makes at the end when we're compressing. So I'll just come back when this is done. Alright guys, this is nearly done. It's not really a long process at all. I just came back because I want to make sure that the file size is the smallest when I put this tutorial on YouTube. Anyway, oh, there's Killshock talking to me. Hang on, Ben. It's gonna say completed conversion, and we're gonna hit OK. Close that. Actually, I should probably just tell him, give me a second. Put that down. Okay, now I'm gonna open up this, and I'm just gonna search for alpha. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna go in here where I already have my stuff, and I'm going to go, where is it? I'm blind. There it is, project. Okay, let's go down here. I'm gonna go to test. Now, if we look at this file size here, which is our original render from Vegas, you can have a look at the file size, which will tell you here 1.73 gigabytes. That's for that's the uncompressed version. That's 1.73 gigabytes. That's a huge file size for only 16 seconds of video. Alright, that's pure HD. Now, we go over to our one that we've just rendered, and we have a look. It's only 12.2 megabytes. That's pure HD footage still, but it's compressed down to that without losing barely any quality whatsoever. Now that's a massive difference, and it's going to help a lot when it comes to uploading your videos while maintaining the quality that you can get when rendering into MP4 and WMV, etc. So if we just open that up, quality is probably fairly shit because I'm recording, but anyway. Oh wow, I forgot to turn off my music again. Anyway, I'll just play this so you guys can see. Quality is probably not the best. What you're watching anyway.
Enemy Cobra approaching.
Fairly nice clip from Tim too. Oh, Guardian, I should say.
Spy plane standing by.
Is you a player? As you can see, there's barely any quality loss. Well, it might not show in the what I'm recording. As you can see, like when he's getting killed down here, it's got the, you can see their names really easily. Everything's nice. It doesn't really need a sharpen. You can see everything perfectly. You can see the hit marker, etc. That's like it's a good quality, and it will work out well when you upload it to YouTube. Anyway, I'm gonna close this. That's about it for this tutorial. I'll obviously make some more very soon on the other things you guys wanted to know. I'll go back and do a proper color correction one because, as you might have seen, that was fairly shit quality in terms of color correction. Anyway, that pretty much does it. I'll see you guys next time.